Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have decided to cut ties with the UK tabloids. Okay, the four major tabloid papers: the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Mirror, and the Express. Seems like a bad move. Today is the Queen's birthday. Her official birthday. She celebrates her birthday twice. Also, Trooping of the Color. This is a picture of Trooping of the Color. Happens in mid-June. That is also an official celebration of the Queen's birthday. Here we have Harry and Meghan on the balcony behind Charles. This was better days for Harry and Meghan. Much, much better days. But I understand it's been mostly canceled. Calls to family. Any celebrations will remain private. The Queen turns 94. Throughout her reign, there has been a 21-gun salute. On her birthday, this has been canceled. Let's read the letter sent to the British newspapers. As the Duke and Duchess of Sussex now settle into the next chapter of their lives and no longer receive any publicly funded support, is that true? We are writing to set a new media relations policy specifically as it pertains to your organization. Like you, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex believe that a free press is a cornerstone to any democracy, particularly in moments of crisis. At its best, this free press shines light on dark places, telling stories that would otherwise go untold, standing up for what's right, challenging power, and holding those who abuse the system to account. It's been said that journalism's first obligation is to the truth. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex agree wholeheartedly. It is gravely concerning that an influential slice of the media over many years has sought to insulate themselves from taking accountability for what they say or print, even when they know it to be distorted, false, or invasive beyond reason. When power is enjoyed without responsibility, the trust we all place in this much-needed industry is degraded. That sounds like projection. There is a real human cost to this way of doing business, and it affects every corner of society. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have watched people they know, as well as complete strangers, have their lives completely pulled apart for no good reason other than the fact that salacious gossip boosts advertising revenue. With that said, please note that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not be engaging with your outlet. There will be no corroboration and zero engagement. This is also a policy being instated for their communications team in order to protect that team from the side of the industry that readers never see. No corroboration, zero engagement. This policy is not about avoiding criticism. Oh, really? It's not about shutting down public conversation. Oh, really? Or censoring accurate reporting. Oh. Media have every right to report on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, good or bad, but it cannot be based on a lie. They also want to be very clear, this is not in any way a blanket policy for all media. They seek media attention constantly. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are looking forward to working with journalists and media organizations all over the world. Of course you are. Engaging with grassroots media, yes you want. Regional and local media and young and up-and-coming journalists to spotlight issues and causes that so desperately need acknowledging. So they want to spotlight things that they want to bring focus to because that's what charitable people do, and that's what Harry's done his entire life until meeting Meghan, but they don't want any criticism. And they look forward to doing whatever they can to help further opportunities for my more diverse and underrepresented voices who are needed now more than ever. What they won't do is offer themselves up as a currency for an economy of clickbait and distortion. Currency for an economy of clickbait and distortion. We're encouraged that this new approach will be heard and respected. Let me read you Piers Morgan's response. I find it very interesting. Love Piers Morgan. He tweeted, "Imagine announcing this in the middle of a global crisis. Imagine thinking anyone cares about their hurt little me egos as health workers around the world are dying at work. What a pair of repulsive, deluded, narcissistic tools. Good on you, Piers. Okay, let's look at this. Meghan and Harry. I actually don't believe that Harry is with Meghan. I believe that Harry is far, far away in a land far, far away. This really sounds like Meghan. This looks like a Meghan move. Meghan seems to just do whatever she wants. I'm wondering, is Harry involved? We'll put Meghan here. And we'll put Harry, Meghan and Harry. We'll put Harry next to her. Are Harry and Meghan equally involved, or is this just the Meghan show? Meghan's like, you can't criticize anything I do. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm Lady Godiva. I'm going to ride a horse naked through the center of town, in the 17th century, and you can't say anything. Not anything negative. You have to praise it, like Kim Kardashian's sex tape. It has to be, oh, it's so wonderful. All right, so Meghan and Harry. Is this just Meghan, or is it Meghan and Harry speaking? Because I do see Harry participating, approving of, this is Meghan, Harry. Ooh, I got the no for Harry. I got devil. Oh dear. All right, is this just Meghan, or is this really Meghan and Harry? Well, I got the devil and olive tree. Devil in the deeply rooted situation, very selfish. It's just me. There's no one more selfish than the devil. It's just me. So was this Harry? Water into wine. This can be a drinking and addiction card in the city, far, far away among a lot of other people. And no, it's not Harry. 16, 25, 7 hearts. So he's somewhere else. No, it's not Harry. He's somewhere else. And maybe dealing with his addictions. Okay, because he's just looking washed out, frazzled. He's looking a mess. And I think it's really a bad idea for him to go on camera at this point, because he's just not looking very well. They need to put some of that dark, skin tone, base skin tone on his face, like they're doing with Meghan, to darken him up and give him some color, put some blush on his cheeks, some lipstick on his lips, and, kind of mostly kidding about that. Okay, but they, these news people, they used to put full makeup on them, including the men. Now the cameras are better. They don't need to do that. And they just come mostly looking like what they look like. Meghan. Was it just Meghan? Step by step, broken relationship. Mother Earth. Okay, 12 and 7, 19. 5 clubs, 2 5s, changes. This was just Meghan. They're apart. Broken chalice. They're apart. This is, she's anticipating. So, no, Harry's somewhere else. I think he's dealing with his addictions. This could also say he's in his addictions. He's drinking and or drugging somewhere in a city far away or with other people. It's hard to be around a lot of other people in this current lockdown situation. So I think he's just in a city far away, either in rehab or feeding his addictions. And this is just Meghan selfishly doing what Meghan wants to do. Okay, so they specifically said, we are not engaging. There's going to be no corroboration, because when a media outlet gets a story, they call them up and say, do you confirm or deny this? That's corroboration. And there's going to be zero engagement. Not engaging, no corroboration, zero engagement. They also say they're not avoiding criticism. They're not censoring. So are they avoiding criticism? Are they censoring? Let's just see what the cards want to say about it. Because it seems to me that that's exactly what they're doing. Avoiding criticism or censoring. But you see this with a lot of very attractive women, and I'm going to get criticized for that because people don't think that Meghan is attractive. Inwardly, obviously, I don't find Meghan attractive, but I think a lot of people would find her externally attractive. She wouldn't have landed, the most eligible bachelor on planet Earth if she wasn't attractive. I don't think. Is she avoiding criticism? Are they censoring cornucopia, everything, all material things, hand in hand, all the people, the conflict among the people, 9/17, reacting to the conflict. So the media is sending out messages that conflict with what Meghan and Harry are trying to say about themselves. So they are censoring. They are avoiding criticism. They don't like these contrary messages that the media is constantly sending out. What's underneath here? We have two spades bookending these cards. So we have 7 spades, karmic relationship, trinity, and earthquake. Okay, secretly, their relationship and working together is ending very badly. 1926, finger of God, and events from outside have caused this. This could mean that the Queen has said, I've had enough. I've had enough of your relationship with Meghan, and we need to break this off, Harry. We need to break this off, Henry Albert. We need to break this off. So what's underneath, okay, is they're trying to keep secret the disaster that has become their relationship. The relationship disaster. That's what they're trying to keep secret. So, okay, so my battery went out. So they are avoiding criticism. They are censoring. Specifically, they want to keep out of the press the disastrous things going on behind the scenes. They want to keep their secrets. And things are not going well. And there's so many things that they can expose. Okay, so Harry, during a podcast, he says, I think what has happened, especially in the UK, is the very best of the human spirit, and it's proving that things are better than we are led to believe through certain corners of the media, he said in an interview with the Declassified podcast. So he was trying to be a little bit diplomatic. He did say the best of the human spirit thing, repeating what the Queen said and what William said, and that went over well when they said that. So he's getting a lot of kickback. People are feeling that was cold and callous and cold-hearted. People are dying and suffering, and he's just minimizing it. So was this just Harry hating on the media? Harry's just can't stop. It's just like Trump derangement syndrome. He's just got to say negative things about the media. Was he trying to get on the news, or was he just speaking from the heart? He's not very filtered. So what was it? Let's see. What was he doing there? Ooh, King of Spades. Angel. Angel's very innocent. Okay. So was he hating, or just trying to get on the news, or just being unfiltered? Executioner is very interesting. Angel is very innocent. Finger of God, 2031. 8 clubs, all the people. Executioner, executive decision, coming from the outside. And innocent. Finger of God. Lovers and coffin, 6, 2 diamonds. I think he was hating on the media. We've got these 2 very dark cards, the executioner and the coffin. Underlying this, he's on a podcast with another person, and it's media. He's talking on the media. Media is his bread and butter, and yet he has these very dark and angry feelings that he's going to be misquoted and things are not going to go well. And that's exactly what happened. He said this thing, he was trying to be innocent, and no matter what he says, it's changed, to a darker tone or misquoted or something. So he has this feeling that no matter what he says, he's just going to be raked over the coals anyway, which is exactly what happened during that circumstance. I mean, he was trying to be diplomatic. Okay, now we have these texts from Harry to Thomas Markle on the day before the wedding. And these are very interesting. And it's titled, "Meg and I Are Not Angry." It said that on May 5th, 2018, Meghan wrote a text to her father. "I've called and texted, but I haven't heard back from you, so I'm hoping you're okay." So they know he's, had a heart attack. She then messaged her father the next day after finding out photographs, okay, so this is May 5th, that her father had been staged for paparazzo photographer. Okay. She explains that she had attempted to arrange logistics and supplies for her father discreetly and with privacy, with care taken to not feed the press, that she's trying to protect her father from heightened press intrusion and scrutiny, and that we should keep a low profile until the wedding. Okay, so he hadn't had the heart attack yet. On May 14th, Mr. Markle sent Meghan a text to apologize and confirm that he would not be attending. It says that around half an hour later, after several calls to Mr. Markle went unanswered, Prince Harry sent the following message. Okay, so he had his heart attack around the 14th, and all the stress of the media and everything, and Meghan getting really upset at him, he had a heart attack. Okay, quote, here's Harry sending to Mr. Markle. "Tom, it's Harry, and I'm going to call you right now. Please pick up. Thank you. Tom, Harry again, really need to speak to you. You do not need to apologize. We understand the circumstances, but, quote, going public will only make the situation worse. If you love Meg and want to make it right, please call me, as there are two other options which don't involve you having to speak to the media, who incidentally created this entire situation. So please call me so I can explain. Meg and I are not angry. We just need to speak to you. Thanks. Any speaking to the press will backfire. Trust me, Tom. Only we can help you, as we've been trying from day one." Okay, so this has been revealed in the court, okay, as part of the discovery process. Thank God. So, what a mess. Will this exposure improve or further damage the public perception of Meghan? I think the worst thing, the thing that people are upset about the most with Meghan is how she has treated her father, and by extension, the rest of her family. Will this improve, or will this exposure improve or further damage public perception of Meghan and also Harry by extension? Oh, that's interesting. Oh dear, wow. Okay, so now this is being exposed in the media, and they literally just sent a letter to the UK media saying, just be quiet and don't report on us. Okay, so now they're having something else reported that they didn't want this to come out, but now it came out through the court. Does this help or hurt them? Cup overflowing, the most emotional card, an emotional overflow, scapegoat. This is the sickness card, 18, 5 diamonds, just ongoing, and a big change. It's going to change for the worse. There's going to be a very emotional rejection. People are going to be very upset by this latest thing about her father. Her father suffered a heart attack because of all the stress and that huge mess leading up to the wedding. He didn't walk her down the aisle. That's her father. He wasn't invited to the wedding. How strange is that? Okay, people really, I personally find that to be the most offensive thing, how she has treated Thomas Markle, and with what honor she's treated Doria, who seems so undeserving of it. And Thomas seems so deserving of all these honors that she's bestowed on Doria. And it's like Weird World. And I think people notice this. People are smart. They really notice things. So what's underneath? We have Hightower, Cornerstone, and Cross. The permanent family, the foundation of the permanent family, and isolation. Isolation from separation and isolation from her family. 11 and 9, 20, which is 5 spades. Yeah. So this is all about blockage and separation, and her separating herself and staying away from her family. It just brings up the question, well, why won't she talk to her father? Why won't she have any contact with him? He seems like a really good guy who, and he's been so kind and generous. I would have been, look at how the other Thomas Markle, the Thomas Markle Jr. has spoken. He sent that letter. You're making the biggest mistake of your life, Harry. You can still get out of this. Run. That was his, wow. I mean, that's kind of pretty harsh. That's not very supportive of Meghan. And people kind of, at that time, they were like, yeah, Thomas Jr., he's a really bad guy. I can see why Meghan doesn't want anything to do with her family. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's review here. Okay, so this letter to the press, is it just Meghan? And is it Meghan and Harry? Because I don't believe they're together. I believe Harry is far away. Or is it just Meghan? They're separated, okay? And no, Harry wasn't involved. This is Harry's side. And Harry is either drinking or in rehab again. Okay, so he's just, and I don't think we should judge him. This is a no judgment zone. He's under terrible stress. Thomas Markle had a heart attack trying to deal with his daughter just to come to the wedding. Harry is just falling apart, and he's looking like the guy sitting on the street with a cup in his hand drinking from a paper bag. I mean, that's what, she's just destroyed him. So it's just Meghan. It's just Meghan. And the devil, there's nothing more selfish than the devil. This is all Meghan. And it all feels like Meghan. So this whole statement, now she had people craft this statement. She does have a team with her somewhere. That team all needs to be fired because of the Archwell thing. They all need to be fired immediately. So that indicates to me that was pure Meghan Markle announcing the Archwell. Okay, but this is just Meghan. It's the Meghan show. And she's afraid that she's going to be criticized, and she wants to cut it out. So is she avoiding criticism? Is she censoring the media? Well, there's contradictory messages being sent out by the media, and she doesn't like it. And she's trying to hide all the terrible things going on in her marriage and her relationship. So that is censoring. That is avoiding criticism. That's exactly what she's doing. And that's the strategy today. You see that a lot. People saying, you're bigoted, you're sexist, you're xenophobic, when in fact everything that they're doing is bigoted, sexist, and xenophobic. And they're calling other people, so in this case she's saying, we're not censoring, we're not avoiding criticism, which is exactly what they're doing. Okay, so better media. Okay. Oh, okay. So Harry made these statements that, we're doing better than the media says. Okay, was this just hating the media? Yes. He is just really bitter and angry. Okay, instead of taking personal responsibility, I need to be more careful with the things that I say. I need to really think about what I'm doing. He's feeling like he can't win, like the media is just beating him up no matter what he says. And so he came and said that, and kind of, the unconscious speaks, and they beat him up for it again. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Interesting how that works. Okay, is this going to improve or further damage Meghan and by extension Harry? The public is going to have a very negative emotional reaction to this. And it's just proof It's more proof to these very wise, intuitive people who are watching that this is just her pattern. This is step by step. This is how she is. And it just kind of, once people decide a person is this way or that way, they decide that they love you or they decide that they hate you, it's very, very hard to change someone's mind after they decide who you are. And that's what I'm seeing here. People are deciding, this is who Meghan is. And because Harry is still associated with her, it shines poorly on Harry. But in particular, this is who Meghan is. And they're kind of really solidifying their opinion. And that's a very bad thing because it's negative. And that's going to affect her career in Hollywood. That's going to affect her foundation and her charities. And Harry's, unless Harry gets away from her. On top, we have the permanent family and the foundation. She's just separating and blocked out. She's just completely ghosted and blocked out her family and her permanent family. And that's what they're seeing. They're just making their opinion of Meghan in particular and also Harry. But this is Meghan's relationship with her father and only Harry's relationship by extension. So that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Please find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe,